Welcome to our deep dive into chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, and pneumonia. Today, we'll explore a real-life case of a 60-year-old man who presents with acute respiratory symptoms. We'll break down his history, physical findings, diagnostic tests, and management strategies. Understanding these conditions is crucial for anyone working in healthcare, as they are common and often require urgent attention. Let's start by reviewing the patient's background and why his symptoms are concerning. Our patient is a 60-year-old man who reports feeling feverish, experiencing increased shortness of breath and general weakness. He saw his family doctor 2 days ago and was prescribed antibiotics, but his breathing has not improved. He also reports diarrhea and minimal mucus production. This morning, his shortness of breath worsened, prompting hospital admission. His diagnosis includes COPD, emphysema with pneumonia. These details are vital for understanding the acute exacerbation and guiding further assessment. When evaluating acute exacerbation and COPD, several features stand out. The patient's increased shortness of breath, fever, and weakness are classic signs. His lack of improvement with antibiotics, minimal mucus production, and new onset diarrhea are also relevant. The worsening respiratory symptoms, especially the need for hospital admission, indicate a significant change in his baseline status. These features help clinicians identify the severity and urgency of the situation. On physical examination, several findings point to worsening respiratory status. The patient's flushed, diaphoretic face and warm forehead suggest fever. He is a mouth breather, uses accessory muscles during inspiration, and must pause frequently to catch his breath. He prefers sitting up, which is common in respiratory distress. Increased anterior-posterior chest diameter, decreased rib cage movement, and indrawing of intercostal muscles are classic signs of COPD. These findings confirm the severity of his respiratory compromise. Other notable physical features include decreased lateral costal expansion, especially at the right base, and nicotine stains on his fingers, indicating a history of smoking. Minimal ankle edema is observed, which may suggest right heart strain or chronic hypoxemia. These features, combined with the respiratory findings, paint a comprehensive picture of COPD with acute exacerbation and pneumonia. Recognizing these signs is essential for timely intervention. Examining the gentleman. In Figure 9:1, we observe several features consistent with respiratory compromise and COPD. The increased anterior-posterior chest diameter, decreased rib cage movement, and use of accessory muscles are classic. Indrawing of intercostal muscles and decreased lateral costal expansion further support the diagnosis. These physical signs are important for differentiating COPD from other respiratory conditions. On auscultation, patients with COPD and pneumonia often exhibit diminished breath sounds due to hyperinflation and poor air movement. Adventitious sounds such as crackles may be present, especially over areas of pneumonia. Wheezing is common in COPD due to airway narrowing. These findings help clinicians localize pathology and assess the severity of respiratory compromise. The chest X-ray in Figure 9:2 reveals features consistent with COPD, such as hyperinflated lungs and flattened diaphragms. For pneumonia, localized opacities or consolidation may be seen, often affecting specific lobes. The silhouette sign can help determine the lobe involved. For example, loss of heart border suggests right middle lobe pneumonia. Tubing crossing the chest may indicate oxygen delivery or monitoring devices. These radiographic findings are crucial for diagnosis and management. The silhouette sign is a radiological concept used to localize pneumonia. If the right heart border is obscured, it suggests involvement of the right middle lobe. If the diaphragm is lost, the lower lobe is likely affected. In this patient's X-ray, careful analysis of these signs helps pinpoint the pneumonia's location, guiding targeted therapy. Understanding this sign is essential for accurate interpretation of chest X-rays. Tubing seen crossing the patient's chest on X-ray is most likely related to oxygen delivery, such as a nasal cannula or mask, or monitoring devices like ECG leads. Recognizing these devices is important for understanding the patient's current management and ensuring proper placement. Misplaced tubing can lead to complications, so careful review is always necessary. The patient's arterial blood gases show a pH of 7.22, PaCO2 of 50, HCO3- of 20, and PaO2 of 50. These values indicate respiratory acidosis with partial metabolic compensation. The low PaO2 confirms hypoxemia. The elevated PaCO2 points to hypoventilation as the primary cause. Understanding these values is critical for assessing the severity of respiratory failure and guiding treatment. The primary acid-base disturbance in this patient is respiratory acidosis, as indicated by the low pH and elevated PaCO2. The decreased HCO3 menon suggests partial metabolic compensation. Hypoxemia is present, and in this context, it is most likely due to hypoventilation rather than other causes. Recognizing these patterns helps clinicians tailor their management strategies. Hypoxemia in COPD patients can result from several mechanisms, including hypoventilation, ventilation-perfusion mismatch, and diffusion impairment. In this case, the elevated PaCO2 and low PaO2 point to hypoventilation as the primary cause. Understanding the underlying mechanism is essential for effective treatment, such as optimizing oxygen delivery and ventilation. The problem list for this patient includes acute exacerbation of COPD, pneumonia, hypoxemia, respiratory acidosis, and minimal ankle edema. Additional concerns are his history of smoking and general weakness. Identifying these problems is the first step in developing a comprehensive treatment plan tailored to his needs. The treatment plan for this patient focuses on improving oxygenation, managing infection, and supporting respiratory function. Key interventions include supplemental oxygen, antibiotics for pneumonia, bronchodilators, and monitoring for complications. Physical therapy may address mobility and strength. Each aspect of the plan is designed to address the patient's specific needs and promote recovery. Physical therapy plays a crucial role in managing COPD and pneumonia. Interventions may include breathing exercises, airway clearance techniques, and mobility training. The goal is to optimize respiratory function, prevent complications, and improve overall strength. Tailoring therapy to the patient's condition ensures the best possible outcomes. Treatment plans for older adults with COPD and pneumonia differ from those for young adults. Older patients often have comorbidities, reduced physiological reserve, and higher risk of complications. Therapy must be individualized, considering these factors. Young adults may recover faster and tolerate aggressive interventions, while older adults require careful monitoring and supportive care. The patient's history of smoking, evidenced by nicotine stains, significantly impacts his respiratory health. Smoking is a major risk factor for COPD and increases susceptibility to infections like pneumonia. Addressing smoking cessation is a key component of long-term management, even during acute illness. Accessory muscle use during inspiration is a hallmark of respiratory distress. Patients with COPD often rely on these muscles to compensate for poor lung function. Observing this sign helps clinicians assess the severity of respiratory compromise and guides decisions about interventions like non-invasive ventilation. Mouth breathing is common in patients with severe respiratory compromise. It indicates increased work of breathing and inability to maintain normal nasal airflow. This sign, combined with frequent pauses to catch breath, signals the need for urgent intervention and monitoring. Patients with respiratory distress often prefer to sit up rather than lie down. This position helps maximize lung expansion and reduce the work of breathing. Recognizing this preference is important for providing comfort and optimizing respiratory function during assessment and treatment. An increased anterior-posterior chest diameter is a classic sign of COPD, resulting from chronic hyperinflation. This structural change affects respiratory mechanics and is easily observed during physical examination. It's an important clue for diagnosing chronic lung disease. Decreased rib cage movement during inspiration is another sign of respiratory compromise. In COPD, stiffened chest walls and hyperinflated lungs limit normal expansion. This finding helps differentiate COPD from other causes of respiratory distress. Slight indrawing of the intercostal muscles during inspiration is a sign of increased respiratory effort. It reflects the patient's struggle to overcome airway resistance and maintain adequate ventilation. This subtle finding is important for early recognition of respiratory failure. Decreased lateral costal expansion, especially at the right base, suggests localized pathology such as pneumonia. In COPD, overall chest expansion is reduced, but asymmetry may indicate additional complications. Careful assessment of chest movement guides further diagnostic testing. Minimal edema in both ankles may be related to chronic hypoxemia or right heart strain, common in advanced COPD. Monitoring for worsening edema is important, as it can signal heart failure or other complications requiring intervention. On auscultation, crackles are often heard over areas of pneumonia, while wheezing is typical in COPD due to airway narrowing. These sounds help differentiate between the two conditions and guide targeted therapy. Diminished breath sounds are common in COPD due to hyperinflation and poor air movement. This finding, combined with adventitious sounds, provides valuable information about the patient's respiratory status. COPD features on chest X-ray include hyperinflated lungs, flattened diaphragms, and increased retrosternal airspace. These structural changes are the result of chronic lung disease and help confirm the diagnosis. Pneumonia features on chest X-ray include localized opacities, consolidation, and air bronchograms. These findings indicate infection and inflammation in the lung tissue. Identifying these features is essential for diagnosis and treatment. Applying the silhouette sign in practice allows clinicians to localize pneumonia. For example, loss of the right heart border suggests right middle lobe involvement. This technique enhances diagnostic accuracy and guides therapy. Oxygen delivery devices, such as nasal cannulas or masks, are commonly used in COPD patients. Proper placement and monitoring are essential to ensure effective oxygenation and prevent complications. ECG leads are often seen on chest X-rays of hospitalized patients. They are used for cardiac monitoring, which is important in COPD patients due to the risk of arrhythmias and heart strain. Respiratory acidosis occurs when carbon dioxide accumulates due to hypoventilation. In COPD, chronic airway obstruction leads to poor gas exchange and elevated PaCO2. Understanding this process is key for managing acute exacerbations. Metabolic compensation occurs when the kidneys retain bicarbonate to buffer the acid load from respiratory acidosis. In this patient, partial compensation is seen with a slightly decreased HCO3 menon. Recognizing compensation helps assess the chronicity and severity of the disturbance. Managing hypoxemia involves optimizing oxygen delivery, monitoring for complications, and addressing underlying causes. In COPD patients, careful titration of oxygen is necessary to avoid worsening hypercapnia. Continuous monitoring ensures safe and effective therapy. Antibiotic therapy is essential for treating pneumonia in COPD patients. Selection of antibiotics depends on local resistance patterns and patient history. Early initiation improves outcomes and reduces complications. Bronchodilators help relieve airway obstruction in COPD. They are often administered via inhalers or nebulizers. Regular use improves airflow, reduces symptoms, and supports recovery during acute exacerbations. Physical therapy aims to enhance respiratory function, prevent complications, and improve mobility. Techniques include breathing exercises, airway clearance, and strength training. Individualized plans maximize patient outcomes. Continuous monitoring for complications such as respiratory failure, heart strain, and infection spread is vital. Early detection allows prompt intervention and reduces morbidity. Multidisciplinary care ensures comprehensive management. Educating patients about COPD, pneumonia, and their management is crucial. Topics include medication adherence, smoking cessation, and recognizing warning signs. Empowering patients improves self-care and outcomes. Long-term management of COPD includes regular follow-up, pulmonary rehabilitation, and lifestyle modifications. Preventing future exacerbations and maintaining optimal lung function are key goals. Collaboration with healthcare providers supports sustained improvement. In summary, acute exacerbation of COPD with pneumonia requires prompt recognition, comprehensive assessment, and targeted management. Physical findings, diagnostic tests, and individualized therapy are essential for optimal outcomes. Understanding the interplay between COPD and pneumonia enhances clinical care. Remember, COPD and pneumonia often coexist and complicate each other. Early intervention, careful monitoring, and multidisciplinary care are vital. Always tailor treatment to the patient's unique needs and circumstances for the best possible outcomes. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of COPD and pneumonia. By understanding the clinical features, diagnostic tools, and management strategies, healthcare professionals can provide effective care and improve patient outcomes. Stay tuned for more case-based discussions and practical insights.